The secret fish that looks like a snake but prints money in your backyard. The hidden million-dollar fish nobody talks about. What if I told you there's a freshwater fish that looks like a snake? Grows fast, rarely gets sick, and can make 5 times more profit than eels? Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet, in the quiet backwaters of Southeast Asia, small farmers are doing just that, turning muddy ponds into money machines with a species almost no one in the West has ever heard of. While many American farmers are struggling, fighting skyrocketing feed prices, unpredictable weather, and shrinking profit margins, halfway across the world, Vietnamese and Cambodian farmers are cashing in on something extraordinary. They're not raising tilapia, catfish, or shrimp. They're raising a rare, snake-like fish that thrives where most others die. A creature so tough and adaptable that it can survive in nearly any pond, ditch, or tank with minimal care. They call it Rắn Ri Cá, known in English as the snakehead loachfish, an odd-looking but astonishingly profitable species. Its long, sleek, snake-like body might not win any beauty contests, but its numbers speak for themselves. Farmers are earning $8 to $10 per pound, often within just 5 to 6 months of growing time, using simple setups no larger than an American garage. Unlike high-maintenance aquaculture systems that demand filters, pumps, and expensive feed, the snakehead loachfish eats almost anything: small fish scraps, plant matter, rice bran, or even leftovers from the kitchen. It grows fast, multiplies quickly, and resists disease. In the words of one Vietnamese farmer, it's the fish that never complains, only pays. Imagine your backyard, a simple 8 by 10 foot space behind your home, quietly generating a second income stream. No fertilizers, no chemicals, no complex machinery, just water, sunlight, and a fish that nature seems to have designed for resilience and profit. The snakehead loachfish isn't just another exotic species, it's a symbol of smart farming for the modern world: sustainable, low cost, and perfectly suited for small spaces. As global demand for clean protein rises, this humble fish could be the missing link between financial freedom and food security for thousands of everyday families. So grab a notebook and an open mind, because in the next few minutes, we'll uncover how this strange-looking fish could turn your backyard into a sustainable, profitable goldmine. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Meet the snakefish, strange looks, golden potential. At first glance, the snakehead loachfish looks like something straight out of a myth, part fish, part serpent, and completely mesmerizing. Its long, flexible body moves through the water with hypnotic grace, gliding like a ribbon of bronze under sunlight, covered in shiny, striped scales that shimmer between green, brown, and gold. This creature doesn't just swim, it weaves through the water like a silent predator. To many, it might look intimidating, even strange, but for those who understand it, this fish represents one of the most exciting breakthroughs in modern small-scale aquaculture, a fish that demands little, gives a lot, and fits perfectly into the future of sustainable backyard farming. This species thrives in the freshwater ecosystems of Southeast Asia, especially in Vietnam's Mekong Delta, a region famous for its ingenious, resourceful farmers who have learned to turn even flooded rice fields into profit. The snakehead loachfish lives comfortably in ponds, tanks, canals, or even small lined pits beside a house. Unlike fragile species that panic when conditions shift, this fish seems built for chaos. It can tolerate low oxygen, murky water, and wide temperature swings, adapting like a small biological miracle. What makes it truly special is its resilience. Many fish species require pristine water conditions and delicate care, but the snakehead loachfish is more like a tank, both literally and figuratively. It shrugs off minor diseases, heals quickly from injury, and continues feeding even when water quality dips. In countries where climate and infrastructure can be unpredictable, that resilience means everything. Now imagine translating that toughness into the American context. While U.S. farmers are spending thousands on aeration systems, antibiotics, and feed, Southeast Asian farmers are quietly pulling in profits from a species that refuses to die easily and practically thrives on neglect. It's not just efficient, it's revolutionary. From a biological perspective, the snakehead loachfish sits perfectly between the worlds of eel and catfish, combining the rich, flavorful flesh of the former with the hardiness of the latter. Its diet is flexible. It's an omnivore that eats both plants and animals. Feed it chopped fish scraps, rice bran, duckweed, or even leftover kitchen greens, it will thrive. That means feed costs stay low, which directly translates to bigger margins. In terms of growth performance, this species is a quiet overachiever. Within just 5 to 6 months, it can reach market size, averaging 1 to 1.5 pounds per fish. Depending on conditions, it doesn't just grow quickly, it grows predictably. That's a big deal in aquaculture, where volatility often kills profits faster than disease. But perhaps what's most exciting for Western markets is not just its resilience, it's the taste. The snakehead loachfish delivers a culinary experience that surprises everyone who tries it. Its flesh is white, firm, and slightly sweet, without the strong, muddy, or fishy taste typical of catfish. It has a texture somewhere between eel and sea bass, rich yet clean, dense yet tender. Chefs in Vietnam call it the fish that tastes like chicken and melts like butter. Nutritionally, it's a powerhouse. High in protein, over 18%. Low in fat and cholesterol. Rich in omega-3 and essential amino acids. For the growing number of Americans who care about clean eating, local sourcing, and sustainable protein, this fish checks every box. It's not only delicious, it's responsible. Right now, snakehead loachfish sells for the equivalent of $6 to $10 per pound in Asian markets, depending on season and size. Compare that to the average $2 to $3 per pound for tilapia. And the difference is staggering. And because it can be raised in small tanks with minimal investment, its profit margins can easily outpace larger, riskier species. To put it simply, this isn't just another weird Asian fish. It's a blueprint for profitable, small-scale aquaculture, adaptable, scalable, and tailor-made for backyard entrepreneurs. Imagine a future where small-town Americans can transform underused garden space, old swimming pools, or converted garages into micro-fish farms. Imagine retired veterans, suburban families, or young homesteaders earning passive income from a species that feeds on leftovers, cleans its own water through Biofloc systems, and matures faster than most commercial fish. It's not fantasy, it's already happening, just not in the US yet. Across the Mekong Delta, farmers are selling hundreds of pounds of snakehead loachfish every month, often to restaurants that can't get enough. Demand consistently outstrips supply, and many producers sell out before harvest. In a region where land and water are scarce resources, the ability to make that kind of profit from such a small space is nothing short of revolutionary. So here's the real question. If this fish thrives in 95 degrees Fahrenheit heat, dirty water, and unpredictable weather, what could it do in the controlled environment of an American backyard? Maybe it's time to stop overlooking the strange and start investing in the smart. The snakehead loachfish isn't just a curiosity, it's a symbol of resilience, simplicity, and innovation. It's proof that nature has already given us the tools to succeed, we just have to recognize them. And in the next chapter, we'll explore why top chefs, restaurants, and seafood lovers across Asia are calling this mysterious fish the new gold standard of freshwater cuisine. Chapter 2. From Farm to Table, Why Restaurants Can't Get Enough. If the snakehead loachfish is the quiet hero of backyard aquaculture, then in the culinary world, it's nothing short of a rising star. Across Southeast Asia, this strange-looking fish has become the secret ingredient behind some of the most sought-after dishes in high-end restaurants and traditional countryside eateries alike. To chefs in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, this fish is not just food, it's a luxury delicacy. Ranked alongside eel, chameleon catfish, or even soft-shell turtle on the list of premium freshwater ingredients. But unlike those hard-to-raise species, the snakehead loachfish is accessible, a delicacy that doesn't demand a fortune to produce. That combination of rarity and practicality has made it a phenomenon among chefs and restaurant owners who are constantly hunting for the next big flavor. Its reputation has been quietly spreading through Asia's culinary circles, not through advertising, but through taste, one plate at a time, one amazed diner after another. In the bustling city of Can Tho, Vietnam, a seafood chef known only as Chef Tam summed it up best. It looks strange, but once people taste it, they never forget it. It's firm like chicken, soft like eel, and tastes like something between river and ocean, fresh, clean, and a little bit wild. The snakehead loachfish is a chef's dream because it's incredibly versatile. Its firm, boneless meat allows it to be grilled, fried, steamed, or even served raw in ceviche-style salads without falling apart. Its natural flavor, subtle, sweet, and buttery, absorbs spices beautifully, allowing chefs to reinvent it for local or international palates. Here are just a few dishes that are turning heads and generating waitlists wherever this fish appears. 1. Grilled spicy snakefish, Vietnamese style. The fish is marinated whole with salt, chili, garlic, and lemongrass, then grilled slowly over charcoal until the skin turns crisp and golden. The inside remains juicy and tender, releasing an aroma that blends smokiness with sweetness. When served with herbs, rice paper, and a squeeze of lime, it's pure culinary magic. Many Vietnamese restaurants call this their bestseller dish. 2. Snakefish hot pot with lemongrass and tamarind. This dish has become a cold weather favorite across southern Vietnam and now, surprisingly, among Asian restaurants in California and Texas. The broth, tangy from tamarind, fragrant from lemongrass, pairs perfectly with the fish's dense, creamy texture. Customers describe it as comfort food with a luxury twist. 3. Crispy snakefish fillet bowl, Western fusion. Adapted for Western audiences, this version features thinly sliced snakefish fillets, lightly breaded and fried until golden, then served over jasmine rice with soy lime glaze. It has the comfort of fish and chips but the flavor sophistication of sushi-grade seafood. Chefs in Los Angeles have begun experimenting with snakefish tacos, poke bowls, and pan-seared medallions, proof that this species can seamlessly cross from east to west. What makes this story even more fascinating is how little of it is known outside Asia. In Vietnam, farmers can barely keep up with orders. Demand has skyrocketed as restaurants in cities like Ho Chi Minh and Hanoi compete for supply, often booking entire harvests months in advance. Meanwhile, small-scale farmers, some with just a few tanks behind their homes, are seeing profits soar. Many of them sell directly to restaurant buyers who show up at harvest time with trucks and cash in hand. "We don't even need to bring it to market," one farmer shared. "The chefs come to us." In major cities, high-end restaurants are paying up to $10 to $12 per pound for premium live snakehead loachfish. During holiday seasons or festivals, that price can rise another 20 to 30%. It's a rare case in aquaculture where demand constantly outpaces supply, year after year. Beyond domestic markets, whispers of export potential are beginning to spread. Traders in Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos have already begun importing small quantities, while distributors in Vietnamese American communities in California, Houston, and Boston are exploring logistics for frozen or live shipments. The reason is simple: novelty and nostalgia. For older generations of Vietnamese living abroad, snakehead loachfish is a taste of home. For new customers, it's a discovery, something exotic, rich in texture, and yet environmentally sustainable. And here's the viral truth that's fueling its momentum. The rarer the dish, the higher the price, and this fish is still a hidden secret. In an age where food trends explode overnight thanks to TikTok Reels and YouTube Shorts, a dish this photogenic, golden skin, shimmering glaze, and the exotic name, snakefish, has all the makings of a viral sensation. Imagine a video of a chef flipping a sizzling snakefish fillet over open fire. Or a slow-motion pour of lemongrass broth over steaming noodles. It's not just food anymore, it's storytelling on a plate. In Asia, the snakehead loachfish is already a legend. In America, it could be the next Asian fusion breakout hit, the kind of dish that turns small family restaurants into cult sensations, and backyard farmers into reliable local suppliers. Because in the world of modern dining, the most profitable ingredients aren't always the ones you know, they're the ones no one's talking about yet. Chapter 3. The 4 Proven Farming Models. When it comes to farming snakehead loachfish, there's no one-size-fits-all formula, and that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Whether you live in a small suburban neighborhood, own a half-acre of land, or operate a full-fledged farm, this fish adapts to your space and budget. In Vietnam, families raise it behind their kitchens. In Cambodia, it thrives in ponds next to rice paddies. And in Thailand, it's becoming a commercial star in high-tech tanks. Let's explore the 4 most effective farming models, refined through years of Southeast Asian experience and ready for adaptation to backyard and small farm setups around the world. 1. Cement Tank Model, the Backyard Profit Engine. If you want to start small but think big, this is the model for you. A cement tank is durable, compact, and incredibly easy to maintain. Think of it as a mini pond with maximum control. You can build one almost anywhere, a corner of your backyard, a garage, or even on a rooftop. The design is simple, a rectangular tank, about 3 to 4 feet deep, with an inlet and outlet for easy water exchange. The smooth surface allows for effortless cleaning and disinfecting, which means fewer diseases and better hygiene. One of the biggest advantages of cement tanks is control. You can regulate everything: water level, feed quantity, and waste removal. And because there's no soil contact, you drastically reduce risks of parasites and infections that often plague earthen ponds. In Vietnam, a farmer named An Nam transformed his 860 square foot setup into a money-making machine. Using 5 cement tanks, he produced nearly 2 tons of fish per year, bringing in about $10 in net profit after costs. His secret? Efficient feeding, regular water rotation, and a little creativity. He used simple gravity filters built from PVC pipes and sand, total cost under $200. For American homesteaders or small urban farmers, this model is a perfect entry point. Imagine converting an old swimming pool, concrete planter, or even a recycled water tank into a productive aquaculture unit. Add a small solar pump and a basic shade cover, and you're in business. Key advantages: long lifespan, 10+ years. Easy to clean and disinfect. Stable temperature and environment. High control and predictable yield. Drawbacks: higher upfront cost compared to other models. Requires permanent space and basic plumbing skills. 2. Lined pond, HDPE or tarp model, the budget-friendly bestseller. This is the go-to model for most first-time farmers in Asia. It's fast, cheap, and flexible. You can set it up in days, not weeks, with no concrete or heavy machinery required. The pond is built using a strong HDPE liner or industrial tarp, supported by wooden or metal frames. Water depth usually ranges from 2.5 to 3 feet. Because the material is smooth, it's easy to clean, prevents seepage, and protects against soil contamination. The cost? Around $2 to $3 per square foot, including structure and liner. For a 100 square foot pond, you're looking at just $200 to $300, cheaper than a single smartphone. Farmers love this model because it's portable and low risk. If you're renting land or experimenting, you can easily move or expand. In the US, this model can be adapted into a solar-powered backyard pond system, complete with aeration and drip irrigation for garden integration, perfect for eco-conscious homeowners. In Dong Thap, Vietnam, a farmer named Mrs. Hua replaced her unprofitable tilapia ponds with 6 tarp-lined tanks. Within 6 months, she earned back her investment and doubled her income. The best part? Her buyers came directly to her doorstep. Key advantages: Low investment and quick setup. Portable, flexible for leased or backyard spaces. Easy cleaning and minimal disease risk. Drawbacks. Lifespan of 2 to 3 years, liners may need replacement. Must ensure proper drainage and UV protection. 3. Natural pond model, the Eco Goldmine. For those with access to natural land or an existing pond, this is a classic and cost-efficient model. The snakehead loachfish thrives in natural ecosystems, mud, algae, and all. This model requires minimal investment if the pond already exists. You simply need to treat the pond before stocking, drain old water, remove sludge, apply lime powder to disinfect, and refill with clean water. Maintaining a depth of 2.5 to 4 feet ensures stable temperature and oxygen levels. To make this model more efficient, many farmers practice integrated farming, combining the fish with other species like snails, ducks, or aquatic plants. Snails and duckweed act as natural feed sources, while plants such as water lettuce help filter waste and provide shade. For American eco-farmers, this can easily evolve into a natural aquaponic system, one where fish waste feeds plants, and plants clean the water. Think tomatoes or water spinach growing above a living pond, a true circular economy. Example, in Long An Province, a farmer named Mr. Tan turned a 1/8 acre pond into a thriving snakehead loachfish system. With no feed automation or electricity, he earned nearly $5 per cycle using natural feed and homegrown probiotics. Key advantages. Extremely low operating cost. Natural ecosystem equals lower stress and healthier fish. Eco-friendly and organic certification potential. Drawbacks. Dependent on weather and water supply. Harder to monitor and harvest. Risk of predators or poaching in open areas. 4. Composite tank model, the smart farmer's choice. This is the modern evolution of fish farming. Composite or fiberglass tanks are lightweight, durable, and highly efficient. They're perfect for recirculating aquaculture systems, ROS, and indoor operations. These tanks are designed to last 10 to 15 years, resist corrosion, and can be relocated anytime. Their smooth walls prevent bacterial buildup and make maintenance easy. Because they pair well with filtration systems, they allow dense stocking with minimal water use, ideal for urban or suburban farmers aiming for year-round production. In Vietnam's Vinh Long province, modern hatcheries are already using composite tanks for breeding snakehead loachfish, achieving survival rates up to 95%. By maintaining stable water conditions, they've reduced disease outbreaks and improved growth rates by over 20%. In the US, this model aligns perfectly with aquaponics and ROS innovations. A plug-and-play setup, 1 tank, 1 filter, 1 pump, 1 solar panel, could produce hundreds of pounds of fish annually with minimal space and water. Key advantages. Long lifespan, 10 to 15 years. Excellent water control and high density potential. Compatible with ROS and automation systems. Portable and scalable. Drawbacks. Higher initial investment, $200 to $300 per tank. Requires electricity or solar setup. Right arrow, choose your scale, start small. Dream big. Your farming scale depends on your goals, capital, and time. Here's how to pick your level. Starter model. Ideal for beginners and hobby farmers. Space. 20 to 40 square feet. Stocking. 200 to 500 fish. Setup. 1 cement tank or tarp pond. Expected ROI. $400 to $800 per cycle. Semi-pro model. For small farms or side income earners. Space. 100 to 200 square feet. Stocking. 1.000 to 2.000 fish. Setup. 2 to 3 tanks, mixed models. Expected ROI. $3-6 per cycle. Pro farm model. For commercial operations or cooperatives. Space. 1.000 plus square featuring. Stocking. 10.000 plus fish. Setup: hybrid of composite and natural ponds. Expected ROI: $20–30 annually. Visualize it like a simple ladder. Every step you take up increases efficiency, consistency, and income. You can start small, learn the ropes, and scale over time without ever taking on risky debt. In Asia, this model has already proven unstoppable. In the West, it could redefine how we think about backyard food production, a blend of technology, sustainability, and entrepreneurship. Because whether your farm is a backyard, a garage, or a small greenhouse, the truth remains: a few tanks, the right fish, and a bit of patience can turn still water into steady income. Chapter 4: Why this fish wins, the 4 golden advantages. In the world of aquaculture, where every species fights for space, market share, and profit, the snakehead loachfish quietly stands apart. It doesn't need million-dollar infrastructure. It doesn't need pristine water. It doesn't even need your full-time attention. And yet, it consistently delivers what most farmers dream of: high profit, low cost, and minimal risk. This isn't just another fish. It's a model of economic efficiency and biological resilience, tailor-made for the realities of today's small farmers and backyard innovators. Here's why this humble snakefish is winning hearts and wallets across Asia, and why it could soon do the same in America. 1. Low investment, high return. In an era where starting any farm business can cost tens of thousands, the snakehead loachfish offers a refreshingly simple equation: start small, grow fast, earn big. You can begin with as little as $500 to $800, including tanks, liners, fingerlings, and feed. That's less than what most people spend on a new smartphone. And within just 5 to 6 months, you can recover your entire investment, and then some. Why? Because every part of this model is optimized for low cost and high efficiency. Feed expenses are minimal since the fish eats almost anything organic. Infrastructure is flexible. You can use cement tanks, tarps, or even repurposed containers. And unlike tilapia or catfish farms that require expensive aeration or mechanical filtration, the snakehead loachfish thrives in still, natural water. In Vietnam, small family farms using 100 to 150 square feet of space routinely generate $2–3 in profit per cycle. Running 2 cycles per year, that's $4–6 annual income, from an area smaller than most American garages. Compare that with traditional fish farming in the US, which often demands high electricity bills, strict water quality controls, and costly commercial feed. The snakehead loachfish flips that equation on its head. It's not just profitable, it's accessible. 2. Beginner-friendly and low maintenance. One of the biggest reasons people hesitate to start aquaculture is fear of failure, disease, or technical complexity. But with the snakehead loachfish, that fear disappears. This species was practically built for beginners. It's hardy, forgiving, and adaptive, qualities that make it perfect for anyone starting small. It doesn't require constant aeration or advanced monitoring systems. It can live comfortably in low oxygen and murky water. In fact, overfiltering or changing the water too often can actually stress the fish more than help it. That means less equipment, fewer chemicals, and less daily labor. You don't need to be a full-time farmer. Even someone with a day job can manage this system with just 15 to 30 minutes of care per day. Feed twice daily, check water levels once a week. And that's it. The fish does the rest. In tests conducted by Vietnamese aquaculture centers, the snakehead loachfish demonstrated a 90 to 95% survival rate. Even in tanks without aeration systems, that level of resilience is almost unheard of in commercial aquaculture. And because it's a peaceful, non-aggressive species, you can raise hundreds, even thousands, in compact spaces without worrying about cannibalism or fighting. For new farmers, retirees, or homesteaders seeking self-sufficiency, that simplicity is priceless. 3. High market demand and stable prices. Here's the part that turns a good idea into a great business. The market loves it. The snakehead loachfish isn't a speculative product or a passing trend. It's a proven delicacy that's already in high demand across Asia, and slowly making its way into global food scenes. In Vietnam, restaurants order months ahead just to secure supply. During peak dining seasons, prices can rise to $10 to $12 per pound for live fish. Local markets never have enough. And for exporters, the demand from Vietnamese, Thai, and Chinese communities abroad keeps growing year after year. In the US, that demand already exists, it just hasn't been met locally yet. Vietnamese American restaurants in California, Texas, and Louisiana often import frozen fish because domestic production is non-existent. Imagine what happens when small American farmers begin supplying this niche directly. And here's the kicker: while tilapia and catfish prices fluctuate wildly, snakehead loachfish prices remain remarkably stable due to limited supply and specialty status. Consumers view it as a premium fish, so it's less vulnerable to market crashes. For the modern farmer, that means predictable cash flow, a rarity in agriculture. 4. Cheap and flexible feed sources. Ask any farmer what kills profits, and they'll tell you: feed costs. That's where the snakehead loachfish delivers another knockout advantage. This fish is a natural omnivore, happy to eat almost anything nutritious. Small fish scraps and byproducts from markets. Poultry organs or entrails. Rice bran, cassava meal, and broken grains. Vegetables and water plants like duckweed. Many farmers even integrate their fish systems with small chicken coops, turning waste into feed in a circular, zero-waste model. Chicken droppings enrich the water with natural nutrients. Plankton grows, and the fish feast on that micro-ecosystem. It's organic recycling in motion. In the US, this can easily be adapted to eco-homestead systems, where leftover kitchen food and garden waste go straight to the fish tanks. Imagine turning compost into cash, while reducing household waste and creating sustainable protein for your family. This flexibility means farmers are no longer at the mercy of volatile commercial feed prices. Even if feed costs rise, the snakehead loachfish remains profitable, because it thrives on what other systems throw away. And environmentally, it's a winner. Lower feed demand means lower pollution, less runoff, and a smaller carbon footprint, a point that resonates deeply with eco-conscious consumers. Tagline: truth. If catfish made millions in the South, snakefish could do the same, but cleaner, cheaper, and smarter. For decades, catfish turned sleepy southern towns into aquaculture hubs. Now, a new contender is emerging, one that demands less space, less feed, and offers more flavor and profit. The snakehead loachfish represents a new chapter of smart, sustainable aquaculture, a business model that balances nature and economy. It's the fish for this generation, one that values independence, creativity, and the freedom to build something real from the ground up. Chapter 5: The Modern Blueprint: Smart Snakefish Farming. The new generation of farmers is not defined by age or location, but by innovation. Whether it's a small family in rural Vietnam or a tech-savvy homesteader in Texas, one thing is clear: the future of farming belongs to those who combine tradition and technology. The snakehead loachfish fits perfectly into that future. It's adaptable, low maintenance, and uniquely compatible with modern aquaculture tools that make farming easier, cleaner, and more profitable. This chapter lays out the modern blueprint for sustainable, data-driven snakefish farming, designed for anyone who wants to work smarter, not harder. A. Tech and tools for the future farmer. 1. ROS, Recirculating Aquaculture System, the water-saving revolution. Traditional fish farming wastes enormous amounts of water. A single pond can lose thousands of gallons each week through discharge, evaporation, or contamination. But in an age of rising water costs and climate pressure, that old system simply won't survive. Enter ROS, Recirculating Aquaculture System, the breakthrough technology transforming fish farming worldwide. ROS works like a living water factory. Instead of draining water after each cycle, it filters, cleans, and reuses up to 90% of it, Biological and mechanical filters remove waste. UV sterilizers kill harmful bacteria. And oxygenators keep levels balanced. For snakehead loachfish, ROS is a perfect fit. Because this species tolerates high density and variable water quality, ROS gives farmers the control needed to push growth rates without risking disease. What once required acres of ponds can now fit inside a small 200 to 300 square foot setup. In Vietnam's Vinh Long province, one farmer used a low-cost ROS model built from PVC pipes, gravel, and a $60 pump. His results were remarkable. Water savings, 85% less than traditional systems. Mortality rate, dropped from 15% to under 5%. Profit increase, 25% higher than previous cycles. For American small farms, modular ROS kits are now widely available, many designed for home use. These plug-and-play systems can be powered by solar panels and monitored from a smartphone, making them ideal for both urban and rural setups. 2. Biofloc system, turning waste into food. If ROS is the mechanical heart of smart aquaculture, Biofloc is its biological brain. Biofloc is a system that mimics nature. By introducing beneficial microorganisms, primarily bacteria and plankton, farmers can convert fish waste, ammonia and nitrates, into nutrient-rich feed directly inside the tank. Think of it as a self-sustaining food cycle. Fish excrete waste, right-pointing arrow bacteria consume it, right-pointing arrow bacteria multiply, right-pointing arrow fish eat the bacteria. This natural loop dramatically reduces the need for commercial feed, lowers water pollution, and creates a more stable micro-ecosystem. For snakehead loachfish, which loves eating organic particles and microorganisms, Biofloc is the perfect companion. Farmers in the Mekong Delta report feed savings up to 40% and faster growth rates due to constant access to microprotein. For eco-conscious farmers, this is more than technology, it's philosophy in action. Biofloc proves that waste can become wealth when you work with nature, not against it. A simple Biofloc setup requires a tank, cement, tarp, or composite, continuous aeration, small air pump or solar blower, molasses or rice bran to feed the bacteria, periodic checks of water color and foam. When the water turns a rich coffee brown, you've created a living, self-balancing ecosystem, one that feeds itself. 3. IoT sensors and automation, farming from your phone. Technology has officially entered the water. Modern fish farms are adopting IoT, Internet of Things, tools, smart sensors and controllers that track every aspect of the water environment in real time. For snakehead loachfish, stability is key. With IoT integration, you can monitor oxygen levels, dew, temperature, pH, turbidity, and salinity 24/7, all from a smartphone dashboard. If oxygen drops too low, the system sends an instant alert. If pH shifts dangerously, the app notifies you before it's too late. Even simple, affordable kits, around $200 to $300, can automate feeding, lighting, and water exchange schedules. The result? Less stress, fewer losses, and more peace of mind. Imagine sipping coffee at home while your fish farm texts you. Water quality optimal, temperature 27 degrees Celsius, pH 7.2. Feeding completed. That's not science fiction, it's modern farming reality. And the beauty of this tech is accessibility, with companies now producing DIY IoT kits for under $100. Even small backyard farmers can enjoy the benefits of precision farming once reserved for large commercial facilities. B. Step-by-step technical process. Let's break down the core workflow of smart snakehead loachfish farming, a system that balances biology, technology, and simplicity. 1. Tank setup and disinfection. Start with a clean environment, always. Wash the tank with a mild salt solution or potassium permanganate to remove bacteria and parasites. If using a pond, drain old water, clean sludge, and apply agricultural lime, about 7 to 10 kilograms per 100 square meters. Allow 3 to 5 days of drying before refilling. Install a small inlet and outlet for water flow. In high-tech systems, connect a biofilter or ROS unit. If going natural, plant floating vegetation like water lettuce or duckweed to maintain oxygen and shade. 2. Water conditioning and salinity balance. Snakehead loachfish prefer slightly neutral to mildly alkaline water. pH between 6.8 and 7.5. Add probiotics or beneficial bacteria starter cultures to establish a stable ecosystem. If water hardness is low, supplement with small amounts of sea salt, 1 to 2 grams per liter. Keep water temperature between 26 to 30 degrees Celsius, 78 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, for optimal metabolism. 3. Fingerling selection and stocking density. Healthy fingerlings are the foundation of success. Choose active, bright-colored fish around 5 to 7 centimeters in length, free from spots or wounds. For cement or tarp tanks, stock 60 to 80 fish per square meter. In Biofloc or ROS systems, you can safely increase density to 100 to 120 fish per square meter. Before release, acclimate fish to tank temperature and salinity. Soak them briefly in a 2% salt solution for disinfection. 4. Feeding schedule optimization. Feed twice a day, early morning and late afternoon. Start with finely chopped fish scraps, duckweed, or small pellets. After 3 to 4 weeks, transition to mixed feed, rice bran, crushed snails, or formulated pellets. In Biofloc systems, reduce feeding amounts by 25 to 40%. Avoid overfeeding. Leftover food is the enemy of clean water. To automate, use smart feeders that release small doses at scheduled intervals. Studies show that regular microfeeding increases growth rates and feed conversion efficiency. 5. Vitamin and mineral supplementation. Just like humans, fish need micronutrients for strong bones and immunity. Add vitamin C, calcium, and digestive enzymes twice a week. For small setups, simply mix with feed. In larger ROS systems, use an autodoser to evenly distribute liquid supplements. This helps prevent stress and boosts resistance to temperature swings. 6. Partial water replacement routine. Even with advanced filtration, water exchange is still essential. Replace 20 to 30% of the tank water every 5 to 7 days to keep nitrate levels low. In ROS or Biofloc systems, monitor clarity instead. If foam thickens or odor rises, replace partially and recharge with probiotics. A small solar pump can handle this efficiently without adding energy costs. The visual future. A farm you can see and control. Picture it. A row of small tanks gleaming under sunlight. Blue water glows beneath digital sensors. Data dashboards flicker on a tablet. You hear the soft hum of a solar-powered aerator, and see snakehead loachfish twisting gracefully below the surface. That's Farming 4.0. A blend of ancient wisdom and 21st century innovation. And the guiding philosophy remains simple yet profound. Technology should never replace the farmer, only empower them. Because behind every sensor, app, and pump, there's still one irreplaceable element: you. The farmer. Your instincts, patience, and passion remain the true engines of success. This blueprint doesn't just teach you how to raise fish, it teaches you how to build independence. One sustainable tank at a time. Chapter 6. Secrets of the Masters. How to avoid failure. In aquaculture, success rarely comes from luck. It comes from rhythm, the small, consistent habits that experienced farmers repeat every single day. And when it comes to snakehead loachfish, the difference between profit and loss often lies in discipline, timing, and observation. The farmers who've turned this strange-looking fish into a 6-month goldmine all share one thing in common. They treat their ponds like living systems, not factories. They listen, adjust, and adapt. This chapter reveals the quiet secrets behind their success, and how you can avoid the costly mistakes that sink most beginners before their first harvest. 1. Lessons from successful farmers. Keep the water stable, don't chase perfection. Most beginners fail not because their fish get sick, but because they panic. They overreact to small changes, adding chemicals, overcleaning tanks, or changing water too often. The result? Stress. And stress is the silent killer in aquaculture. Veteran farmers understand that consistency beats purity. The goal isn't crystal clear water, it's stable, living water. Snakehead loachfish can thrive in slightly murky conditions, as long as parameters like temperature and pH remain steady. As one farmer in Long An, Vietnam put it, water doesn't have to be clean, it just has to be calm. So, avoid rapid water exchanges. Instead, change small amounts gradually, 20% every few days. Monitor, don't micromanage. Feed less, feed smart. If there's one rule that separates masters from amateurs, it's this. Feed less, feed smart, clean tanks. Healthy fish, full wallet. Overfeeding doesn't make fish grow faster, it ruins the water, burns money, and kills silently. Successful snakefish farmers feed small portions multiple times a day, just enough for the fish to finish within 10 minutes. This prevents leftover food from decomposing, which otherwise releases ammonia and harms water quality. Many even design their own feeding rhythm. Light feed at dawn. Heavier feed at dusk when temperatures cool and fish eat more actively. Sort regularly. Size matters. Snakehead loachfish grow fast, but not all at the same pace. The larger ones dominate feeding areas, leaving smaller ones behind, or worse, turning them into snacks. Every 2 weeks, successful farmers sort by size. They use net sieves or simple bamboo trays with different mesh sizes to separate fish into growth groups. It's extra work, but it pays off. Growth becomes uniform. Feeding is more efficient, and mortality rates drop drastically. One farmer from Dong Thap described it as resetting the class every 2 weeks. Everyone grows together. 2. Cost-cutting hacks that boost profit. Even though snakehead loachfish farming is already low cost, top farmers take it a step further. They innovate, improvise, and turn everyday waste into savings. Homemade probiotics, the secret sauce. Why spend money on expensive additives when nature already provides everything you need? Veteran farmers brew their own probiotic mixes from ingredients found in any kitchen. Ripe bananas, natural sugar and yeast. Rice bran or cornmeal, bacterial medium. Molasses or brown sugar, fermentation booster. Mix them in a barrel. Cover loosely, and let it ferment for 5 to 7 days. The result? A golden liquid teeming with beneficial bacteria. Add 1 cup per 100 gallons of water weekly, or mix it into feed. This DIY probiotic keeps water stable, enhances digestion, and boosts fish immunity, all at almost zero cost. Feed recycling, smart waste management. Restaurant leftovers and fish market byproducts are gold mines if handled correctly. Successful farmers collect these materials, boil them to remove pathogens, and mix them with rice bran or vegetable scraps to create balanced, nutrient-rich feed. It's a win-win. Less waste for the community, less cost for the farmer. In regions like the Mekong Delta, some farmers save up to 40% on feed expenses using this method, without sacrificing fish health or quality. Well water over tap water. Tap water often contains chlorine, a silent killer of fish if not properly aged or dechlorinated. The masters know this. That's why they prefer natural well water, which is cleaner, chlorine-free, and rich in minerals. If you must use tap water, always let it sit exposed for 24 to 48 hours or aerate it before filling tanks. Simple hacks like these save fish, and your sanity. 3. Diversification models, 1 pond, multiple streams. Top farmers rarely rely on a single source of income. They use creativity to turn their farms into multi-profit systems. Model 1. Snakefish plus tilapia or catfish, the waste recycling combo. Tilapia and catfish are cleanup crews of aquaculture. They eat leftover feed and organic debris, keeping the water cleaner for snakefish while producing an extra harvest. In a balanced setup, snakefish occupy mid-water levels while tilapia and catfish feed near the bottom, forming a natural recycling system. This combination not only improves feed conversion but also reduces cleaning costs. The result: less waste, more yield, double income. Model 2. Snakefish plus agrotourism, catch and cook, experiences. In rural Vietnam and Thailand, farmers have discovered a creative twist, turning their fish farms into tourist attractions. Visitors pay to tour the ponds, learn about sustainable aquaculture, and even catch their own fish for lunch. Imagine families or tourists visiting on weekends, taking photos, cooking snakefish hot pot on site, and sharing it on social media. One farmer near Can Tho reports earning 30% more from tourism than from fish sales alone. The concept is simple but genius. Make your pond a place of learning and experience, not just production. For American homesteaders, this idea translates beautifully into farm-to-table experience days. Invite local families, food bloggers, or chefs to explore sustainable aquaponics firsthand. They'll leave with full bellies, and your farm's name on their Instagram feeds. 4. The master mindset. Technology, technique, and timing matter, but the biggest secret of all lies in mindset. Every master farmer treats their system like a partnership with nature, not a battle against it. They're patient when others rush, observant when others ignore, and methodical when others guess. They track data, keep logs, and respect the invisible patterns of water and life. Most of all, they understand this truth. Farming isn't about controlling nature. It's about cooperating with it, and learning its rhythm. That's why the snakehead loachfish isn't just a profitable species, it's a teacher. It rewards balance, punishes carelessness, and thrives under calm, consistent care. So if you want to succeed where others fail, take a page from the masters. Feed less, feed smart. Keep the water calm. Observe, don't overreact. Turn waste into wealth. Because at the end of the day, the real secret of the snakefish masters isn't hidden in expensive equipment or secret formulas. It's in the quiet consistency of those who show up every day and listen to the water. Chapter 7. Real-world lessons. How to fail smart. Every successful farmer carries a story, and almost every story begins with a failure. The snakehead loachfish may be tough and forgiving, but even the strongest species can't survive poor habits, impatience, or neglect. Across hundreds of farms in Southeast Asia, there's one truth that keeps repeating: failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the process. The key is to fail smart. 1. Common mistakes that sink new farmers. Mistake number 1. Poor water preparation equals silent disaster. Most newcomers rush to stock fish before their system is ready. They fill the tank, toss in fingerlings, and expect the magic to begin. But the result? Within a week, fish start floating. The problem isn't the fish, it's the water. Snakehead loachfish are hardy, but they can't survive sudden shifts in pH, temperature, or toxins. Unfiltered pond water or untreated tap water often contains residues of pesticides, detergents, or chlorine, invisible killers that accumulate fast. Veteran farmers always prepare their water like a chef prepares a dish, carefully and with patience. They clean the tank, treat the water with lime or probiotics, and let it stabilize for several days before introducing fish. A farmer in Dong Thap learned this the hard way. He stocked 3,000 fingerlings into untreated canal water. 3 days later, 80% were gone. His second batch, using treated and rested water, had a 98% survival rate. Lesson learned: never rush nature's chemistry. Mistake number 2. Overfeeding equals toxic sludge. Nothing kills a tank faster than too much love, or in this case, too much food. Many beginners assume that if fish eat a little, more must be better, but overfeeding leads to a chain reaction of destruction. Leftover feed sinks, decomposes, and releases ammonia and hydrogen sulfide. The water turns dark, oxygen drops, and fish slowly suffocate in what farmers call toxic soup. You might not see it right away. The fish still eat, still swim, until one morning. They're gasping at the surface or lying still at the bottom. Experienced farmers feed like scientists. They observe fish behavior closely. If the fish rise eagerly to eat, it's a good sign. If they hesitate or linger at the bottom, feeding stops immediately. Less is always safer. The rule of thumb: feed only what they can consume in 10 minutes. It's not about stuffing them full, it's about keeping them alive long enough to grow fat naturally. Mistake number 3. Scaling too fast. Too soon. Greed kills faster than disease. After one successful cycle, many farmers fall into the trap of rapid expansion, building more tanks, buying more fish, and tripling capacity without doubling knowledge. They assume bigger equals better. But in aquaculture, every new square foot multiplies complexity. Water circulation changes, feeding dynamics shift, and disease spreads faster. Without experience, management becomes chaos. Seasoned farmers always repeat one mantra: start small, learn fast, scale wisely. They master one tank before adding the second. They wait until their systems run smoothly for at least 2 full cycles before expanding. By the time they reach pro-farm scale, they've already made and solved every small mistake possible. It's not the fastest path to riches, but it's the surest path to lasting success. 2. Key takeaways from failure. Lesson 1. Record everything. Successful farmers treat their ponds like data labs. Every feeding time, every temperature reading, every observation goes into a notebook or spreadsheet. Why? Because farming isn't guesswork, it's pattern recognition. By tracking feed amounts, pH levels, and fish behavior, you begin to see early warning signs. Slower feeding means oxygen is low. Color changes mean waste buildup. You can correct problems before they explode. Even a simple daily log can save thousands of dollars and countless fish. Each day, you note the essentials: the amount of feed given, the pH of the water, the temperature, and any small observations about the fish's behavior or the smell and clarity of the water. For example, on July 10th, you might record that you fed 2 kilograms of feed, with the pH at 7.2 and water temperature at 28 degrees Celsius. The fish were active, and the water looked clean and stable. The next day, July 11th, conditions shift slightly, pH drops to 6.6. Temperature rises to 30 degrees Celsius. And you notice a faint odor. That's your early warning sign. You decide to reduce feeding slightly to avoid overloading the system. On July 12th, after adding a small dose of probiotics, the pH rises back to 7.0. Temperature stabilizes at 29 degrees Celsius. And the smell disappears. Those tiny notes might seem trivial in the moment, but together they tell a story, one that reveals patterns, prevents disaster, and protects your investment. Recording isn't busywork, it's your insurance policy. It transforms you from a guesser into a data-driven farmer who sees problems before they strike. Recording isn't busywork, it's your insurance policy. Lesson 2. Observation, automation. Technology helps, but no sensor can replace human intuition. Farmers who spend a few quiet minutes each day watching their fish, how they swim, feed, and breathe, always outperform those who rely entirely on machines. The water talks, bubbles, color, smell, all send messages. Learning to read those signs is what turns an amateur into a professional. One Vietnamese farmer put it perfectly. My fish tell me when they're hungry, when they're scared, and when they're happy. You just have to learn their language. Lesson 3. Adapt like water. Even the best plans fail when nature shifts. Droughts, heat waves, sudden rain. The masters don't fight it, they adapt. If temperatures rise, they add shade. If rain dilutes the pond, they rebalance minerals. If feed prices soar, they switch to homemade mixes. Flexibility keeps them alive when others quit. Snakehead loachfish farming isn't about perfection, it's about resilience. The same quality that makes this species thrive in swamps and rivers must also define the farmer. Lesson 4. Consistency equals success. At the heart of every thriving farm is consistency. Not flashy technology, not expensive feed, just steady, simple care, every day. You don't need to do much, you just need to do it regularly. Feed at the same times. Check the same parameters. Keep the same rhythm. Because fish, like people, love stability, they reward routine with growth. 3. The smarter way to fail. No matter how careful you are, mistakes will happen, and that's okay. The smartest farmers see each problem not as a setback, but as tuition. Every lost batch, every cloudy tank, every misstep teaches you something no YouTube tutorial ever could. The goal isn't to avoid mistakes, it's to make smaller, recoverable ones, to fail early, cheaply, and consciously. So, start with one tank, track everything, watch your water, learn from every bubble, ripple, and bite. Because in the end, snakehead loachfish farming is less about raising fish, and more about raising yourself, your patience, your attention, and your ability to adapt. Success comes to those who respect the process. Failure comes to those who skip it. Choose your path wisely, and fail smart. Chapter 8. The Future of Backyard Aquaculture. The world is standing at a crossroads. On one path lies industrial agriculture, massive, resource-hungry, and fragile in the face of climate change. On the other lies a quiet revolution, small-scale, circular, and smart farming, powered by innovation and built for resilience. And right at the heart of that revolution swims an unlikely hero, the snakehead loachfish. 1. The rise of small-scale aquaculture. Around the world, millions of people are reimagining what farming looks like. You no longer need hundreds of acres or heavy machinery to feed your family, or even to build a business. Today's farmers are using tiny ponds, smart sensors, and backyard tanks to create systems that work with nature, not against it. It's called micro-aquaculture, and it's changing lives from Southeast Asia to suburban America. A 100-square-foot fish system that once would have been dismissed as a hobby can now generate thousands of dollars a year. The combination of simple biology and modern tools, solar power, automation, and digital monitoring, has turned small farmers into energy-efficient entrepreneurs. The snakehead loachfish embodies this shift perfectly. It's tough, low-cost, fast-growing, and capable of thriving in setups that most commercial fish couldn't survive. Its ability to eat local feed, live in variable water conditions, and deliver premium meat makes it an ideal species for climate-smart aquaculture. In short, it's a species for the future, a bridge between old wisdom and modern sustainability. 2. The circular economy in motion. The next frontier of farming isn't just about production, it's about circulation. In a circular system, nothing goes to waste. Every byproduct becomes a resource for something else. The snakehead loachfish fits seamlessly into this model, forming the perfect link between land, water, and waste. Imagine this. Kitchen scraps and vegetable waste are fed to chickens. Chicken waste becomes nutrient-rich input for fish tanks. Fish water, full of organic fertilizer, irrigates fruit trees or vegetables. Plants purify the water, sending it back clean to the tanks. This is the closed-loop ecosystem, where every drop and every leaf contributes to life. It's sustainable, scalable, and profitable. Farmers across Vietnam have already perfected this dance of biology. They call it, one farm, three profits. The same model could thrive in America, where small homesteads, urban farms, and eco-villages are searching for exactly this kind of integrated system. It's more than just farming. It's ecological harmony with an economic engine. 3. Snakefish, the bridge species for a changing climate. As global temperatures rise and freshwater becomes scarcer, the demand for resilient food systems grows more urgent. The snakehead loachfish is one of the few species that thrives where others fail. It can handle high temperatures, low oxygen, and even fluctuating pH levels. It's perfectly adapted for the unpredictable future that's already here. That adaptability means less dependency on expensive filtration, energy, or chemical intervention. For small farmers, it means freedom, freedom from fear of loss every time the weather changes. In a warming world, the snakehead loachfish could become to aquaculture what solar panels became to energy, a democratizing force that gives power back to the people. And as nations search for climate-resilient protein sources, this fish may soon play a role far beyond backyards, in global food security itself. 4. Integrating technology and nature. The real magic happens when innovation meets instinct. A backyard snakefish farm doesn't need to be a pond anymore. It can be part of an ecotech ecosystem, powered by the sun, managed by apps, and sustained by waste. Here's what the modern integrated setup might look like. Solar panels power small pumps and sensors. IoT systems track water quality and feeding cycles. Hydroponic beds grow lettuce or herbs using nutrient-rich fish water. Biofloc microbes recycle waste and feed the fish naturally. Compost bins process leftover plant material into organic fertilizer. It's farming that feels futuristic, yet deeply rooted in ancient wisdom. A perfect fusion of nature's design and human creativity. In fact, the most advanced farms of the future may not be huge industrial facilities at all, but rather thousands of small, connected backyard ecosystems forming local food networks. 5. A new vision of prosperity. For generations, the idea of prosperity in agriculture was tied to scale. The bigger the farm, the better, but the 21st century is rewriting that definition. Now, prosperity means independence, balance, and resilience. It's about having enough food, enough income, enough security, without sacrificing the environment or your peace of mind. And snakehead loachfish farming fits that new vision perfectly. It gives families healthy, homegrown protein. It offers steady cash flow through local markets or restaurants. It requires minimal space and water. And it restores the balance between people and the planet. The same system that feeds a family can also power a community, through shared knowledge, shared technology, and shared sustainability. 6. The future in one quote. At a recent agriculture conference in Ho Chi Minh City, a veteran farmer stood up and said something that silenced the room. In the age of smart farming, even a small pond can power a family's future. That single sentence captures everything this movement stands for: empowerment, innovation, and hope. Because the future of farming isn't somewhere far away. It's right here, in our backyards, in our garages, in our willingness to rethink what's possible. And the snakehead loachfish, this humble, snake-like creature from the muddy waters of the Mekong, might just lead the way. Chapter 9. Call to Action. The revolution begins in your backyard. Approximately 480 words. By now, you've seen the full picture. How a simple, snake-like fish from the muddy ponds of Southeast Asia is rewriting the rules of modern farming. You've learned how it thrives in harsh water, eats what others waste, and delivers profits where most systems fail. You've seen real farmers, from small families to creative entrepreneurs, turn forgotten spaces into food-producing powerhouses. And the truth is simple: if they can do it, so can you. You don't need acres of land. You don't need high-tech labs or big investors. You just need a small corner of your backyard, a willingness to learn, and the courage to start. Start with one tank, a 4x4 foot space, that's it. Watch how it transforms before your eyes. See how a few fingerlings grow, feed, and multiply, turning water into wealth. Once you see it work, you'll never look at your backyard the same way again. Because this isn't just about raising fish, it's about raising possibility. It's about proving that farming can be modern, sustainable, and profitable without destroying the planet. All over the world, farmers are already leading this quiet revolution. In Vietnam, families make thousands of dollars from ponds no bigger than a living room. In Thailand, young people are turning fish tanks into business startups. In America, homesteaders are discovering that aquaculture can feed their families and fuel their dreams. The snakehead loachfish isn't just a species, it's a symbol. A reminder that the future of food doesn't have to belong to corporations or megafarms. It can belong to you, the independent grower, the backyard dreamer, the believer in something better. So here's your call to action. Right finger, start small, learn fast, grow wisely. Right finger, turn your backyard into your blueprint for freedom. Right finger, be part of the new wave of farmers who turn sustainability into opportunity. Share your journey, comment your first farm idea, tag your setup, inspire others to take the leap. Because this revolution isn't built by one person. It's built by a community of innovators who dare to do things differently. And when you do, remember our promise, the mission behind the Farmer's Alley. From green grass to golden profit, the revolution begins in your backyard. If you believe that farming can be both smart and soulful. If you believe that technology should serve people, not replace them. If you believe that your small pond could feed your family and change your future, then don't wait. Subscribe to the Farmer's Alley for more hidden profit models, real farmer stories, and step-by-step guides to building your own sustainable, income-generating ecosystem. Because the future of farming isn't somewhere out there. It's right behind your house, waiting for you to begin.